In that same interview with Total Film, Zack Snyder hinted at Justice League Part 2 and 3. And this is kind of no surprise, okay? If you've been following Zack Snyder, this release of Snyder Cut, you know that Zack Snyder had a 5 film story arc planned from Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League, and then Justice League 2 and 3. So he kind of elaborates that on that in this interview and says, "For me, there's a trilogy of films that I sort of lean on. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League are a continuity, and within that 3 movie arc, there is a consistent tone. Frankly, it was meant as the primer for another 2 Justice League movies. Not that those movies are ever going to get photographed. I don't see that happening. And it stays true to that concept. It was meant to be like Lord of the Rings and not a one off. That's the way I think about it." Now, those of you out there who are getting a bit discouraged that, there's no Justice League Part 2 and 3, first, let's wait and see the movie first, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm excited. I'm confident it's going to be great. Definitely better than the 2017 movie. But I'm not going to jump ahead and get angry that Part 2 and 3 are, there are no plans for that. And here's why. One, Zack Snyder knows that WB wants nothing to do with the Snyderverse. With this movie, that's why they're hardly promoting it or doing any sort of marketing on their end, because they want to move on past that. Like, we've already talked about this. Zack Snyder knows to not have expectations with these DC films. He wasn't expecting the Snyder Cut to ever happen. He acknowledged it existed, but he never thought, he was so sure that this would go away. And he's happy that it didn't. He's happy that he's making it. He really is, guys. He is the happiest person, maybe more than the fans, that this movie is coming, because he loves his fans and he cares about these characters. Despite if you have problems with what he's done with these DC characters, he very much loves them and understands them. But he's also acknowledging the kind of studio that WB is. Okay, they're very reactionary. They've already effed him over more than once, and he's not going to get his hopes up. That being said, when Zack Snyder's Justice League comes out, and I've said this before, and it's great, how do you think HBO Max is going to look at the potential success, the social media aspect? If people go on social media and are talking about this movie, how much they may enjoy it. You think HBO Max is just going to ignore that? You think Warner Media is going to ignore that? You think AT&T is just going to ignore that? No. Again, it's about the number of people that watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. Critics, irrelevant at this point. Okay. Critics aren't going to affect people going out and watching this movie in theaters, because the theaters are closed and this movie's releasing on streaming service. And to be frank, I think people are the jig is up. People know that critics, for the most part, aren't exactly happy with what direction Zack Snyder has gone with the DCEU. But there are people who are becoming more and more fans of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. I've seen it. I've seen it online. And if they're excited about Zack Snyder's Justice League and they watch it and they enjoy it, they like it, Warner Brothers, hey, like it or not, there is a possibility that more Justice League could happen with Zack Snyder. But of course, you also got to consider the actors and their availability. So Snyder is being smart. Don't get your hopes up, but never say never.